Yo, what it do, y'all? It's your boy, y'all Star Chuck, and welcome to another edition of Chuck's Corner Reloaded. Yeah, man, we up in this building, man. We up in this thing. We kind of doing our thing. So I want to give a little moment for a few folks to kind of get up in here. Give them a little moment to get up in here. Man, we got some stuff we definitely want to talk about, man. Definitely some interesting situations. So let's definitely get into it. Let's talk about it. Y'all, I mean. Also, too, man, we're gonna drop a little game, too. So we're gonna see, right? We gonna see. We gonna talk about it. We're gonna get into this shit, right? Definitely gonna get into it. All right, here we go. Boy, so this has been an interesting situation. I did a special kind of edition on Saturday of Chuck's Corner Reloaded, where I talked about Sauce Walker. And what's really interesting about this, man, is that I read in the comments and other blogs and even with my own, man, a lot of people agreeing with this. That, Sauce Walker was he was on $1 million worth of game last week, I should say. And he was talking about, how his crew, his crew bought the freshest. They was the freshest ones. They was the freshest one who bought the freshest to Houston. You know what I'm saying? Talking about the clothing and the drip and all of that. So he go through his, little Timberland boots with the different colors at the bottom of them. And, so a lot of people, man, the comments was really interesting. So I'm going to share a little bit what I said, but then I'm going to kind of move on because I already talked about it and I don't want to waste y'all time too much. I still feel this way. It's like this. Sauce Walker, whether if it was intentionally done or not intentionally done or whatever, Sauce Walker is a marketing genius. You know what I'm saying? He thinks he's strategic about what he say, what he's talking about. And again, we're going to kind of jump into this a little bit later, but I'm telling you now, like, that's what you want to do, artists, independent artists out there. That's what you want to do. You want to do things to get people to be interested in you. Whether you like Walk or not, you really going to kind of tap in and see what he's talking about, because it's like, it's a situation. You like, damn, he talking about this, and this. And then he got all the OGs. He got all the OGs tapped in. He got all the independent Houston rappers, tapped in. He got the Doughboys tapped in. And then they bringing other people into this element because they know that is what's going to, spark the brain. So I still stand on that. I think it's a definite marketing situation. And even though somebody in my commented, hey man, this ain't marketing, it's truth. Maybe, but at the end of the day, he's doing something to ruffle feathers. He's doing things to really elevate, elevate y'all, to really make y'all be like, damn, if you don't rock with Sauce, you're going to rock with him now because you're going to check it out. So a lot of people have been tapping in, and it's really interesting. And one of my followers or persons, not my followers, but somebody in one of the blogs had kind of said, because I expressed my opinion, and I'm going to re-say this, it's like, I talk about how Lil Flip, like, I've been on the Lil Flip since, my bad, y'all, probably a little bit earlier than that. I've been rocking Lil Flip, listening to him. And when I said this, I guess this person took it. I said that one of the freshest cats that I seen from Houston was Lil Flip. Because everybody at the time, talking about in the early 2000s, like Flip, he had the Cloverland chain with the diamonds in it, the gold teeth. He always had the special made jerseys. He had the special made jerseys. Yeah. The special made jersey with Lil Flip or Cloverland on it. So to me, and like I said, I really try to stay away from the Houston politics thing, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm an implant here, and even though I'm in the industry, but also too, I don't like speaking about stuff, but that's in my opinion. I feel like Flip was one of the freshest cats that I seen come out of Houston. And then the fact that Sauce Walker said that him and his crew, I mean, everybody's entitled to their own opinions. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's entitled to their own opinions. So they can definitely say that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, if he feel that way, he definitely can say that because, he did, you know what I'm saying? I mean, he did do his little thing though. So, you know what I'm saying? So I thought that was definitely a dope situation. But yeah, so shouts out to Sauce Walker, man. He's really bringing, in my opinion, the element, as far as with Houston music, you know what I'm saying? He's really bringing the attention, to Houston music, whether you like it or not, whether you think it's, however you think it is. I mean, that's what dude's doing. Like, that's exactly what he's doing. So, it is what it is. So, it is what it is, man. So, another thing I wanted to tap into, I put something on my page earlier in my comments. And again, I'm going back and revisiting some things because 2025, is really, 2025 is really about direct to consumer. And I talked about this probably about 2 weeks ago, but this is subject is always going to be relevant. Paul Wall on the Breakfast Club, he talks about direct to consumer, and because he's talking about you don't need to put your stuff on Spotify. And the more and more, it's like each week there's more things coming out about Spotify. And if y'all really, as artists, if y'all really don't realize what's really going on here, Spotify don't give two rats ass about you as an artist. They do not care about it because they keep lowering the percentage to pay the artist. And everybody be so quick to be like, oh man, I gotta put myself on Spotify. Oh, I gotta do this and that. DSPs is cool, but going back to, because I kind of watched the full episode with Paul Wall talking about that, and I've really been kind of pushing this for y'all. Getting a website, get your music, and sell it to your people directly, so you get the money. You can cut out the DSPs. Now I know a lot of people, they'd be like, oh man, I depend on Spotify. I want to do this Spotify. They can do this and that, and that's fine. Like I'm also an advocate for where, if you use Spotify, right? If you use Spotify, you can use it as a tool to find your fans, to find your people, to find out where they are, how they listening, what time, and a man or woman or whatever pronoun they identify with. You use that information to be able to target market your people, to be able to target market your people, be able to sell your product, be able to sell it. So that aspect of using Spotify and Apple Music for artists, that I agree with. Those are the type of things that I do feel that you can use it for. But to solely try to go on Spotify and you trying to do all these different things, I'm kind of on some fuck Spotify type thing, because if y'all really pay attention, is that each week Spotify is doing something and they're giving their investor or their CEO all this bonus money. Well, I'm gonna ask y'all, where do you think that bonus money comes from? Where do you think it comes from? Where do you think it comes from? It comes from you, the artist. You know what I'm saying? It's like we sit here and we promote and we go check me out on Spotify. Go to Spotify. Then you go to Spotify, but Spotify is paying half a cent or half per stream. And so in our eyes, if you do 10,000 streams, you thinking, oh man, I'm gotten some. But you fuck around 10,000 streams, you only accumulating $5, $6, $10 of that. And I know some people will be like, but I'm making a little money. Okay, we look at it that way, but think of how much more money you can make if you get your website, lock down a domain, take your music, get your EPK, your bio, put it on your webpage, link it to where people can come to buy directly from you. You can put a link up, people can go click on that link. Now the song is in their phone. Now, it is a little bit more work, but, would it not be worth it though? You know what I'm saying? Because you can sell a project for $10 and that $10 is coming directly to you. You sell a project on on Spotify, Apple Music, you got to wait a few months, you know what I'm saying? And then, like I've said this in a couple of shows back, but now Apple is starting to cut out, and not just Apple, but they are starting to cut out to where you can't do pre-releases anymore. They cutting it out, y'all. So that's what I'm saying. It's like, that's what I'm saying is that you really have to really look at the situation and kind of do what you need to do. Because what Paul Wall said is like, create your own website, do this and that, and definitely do it, man. Like, I've been saying this for a while. This is the most perfect time for independent artists to be independent right now. You know what I'm saying? It's the most perfect time, with the social media stuff and like, and I'm not going to lie, social media, it's a job within itself. It really is. It's a job within itself. Social media really is. It's a job within itself because you have to make sure you constantly post content and you have to spend a little money on the content, you really have to, if you want to reach out to certain people, you want to get that engagement, you have to, do a little ad and stuff like that. Me included, you know what I'm saying? I'm sitting up here, I'm promoting Chuck's Corner Reloaded. And really, I really appreciate everybody because what's crazy is that when I'm realizing that right now, only got a few people in here, but then what I'm realizing is like, wow, people are really kind of taking to what I'm saying because of the fact when I cut this thing off, I go back maybe 30 minutes later and there's 200 people that didn't watch the video. And so with that being said, you have to advertise, stuff, but it's definitely a job within it. But also too, it can be doable, especially if you really, really want this to work. Something else I wanted to address, and I put this on my page as well. Tarboy Williams from the group from Track Boys. And if y'all don't know who Track Boys is, y'all definitely need to go Google him. But responsible for hits for Jaquan, Ebony Eyes, and The Roots and things of that nature. He's produced quite a bit of music for a lot of people. Well, I like to give credit where it's due, but also too I like to, anything that's relevant, what I've been talking to my audience about. So earlier this week, he put up a post talking about on his thing, talking about how people talking about how they sign to themselves. And I thought that was very interesting because he talks about how people's always like, well, why don't you just sign to yourself and do that? You could sign to yourself, but where the money's going to come from. And a lot of that stuff that people talk about when they say that, it sounds so good. It sounds so good. I know it do. It definitely sounds good, because even once upon a time in my early career of this situation, I myself was like, well, I want to start a label. I want to do this and that. And it's not the fact that I couldn't do it or I can't do it, but a lot of times financials do stop a lot of situations. And sometimes you got to be creative with it. But he talked about like when people say, hey, I'm going to sign myself and we'll do this. At the end of the day, you still got to have money. You still got to have money to put into your marketing, your promotion, the making of the product. So you still got to have money. So until you're doing that situation, I wouldn't necessarily be going around bragging and boasting saying, oh, I'm signed to me. When you do sign to me is, it doesn't mean anything if there's no purpose, there's no money behind it. Because I do know some people like to say, oh man, I'm for myself, but signing to yourself, where's the money for? You still got to put the money to really push it. That's what you really have to do. Another thing too, man, Master P made a great ass point that was very interesting as well. He said, you're not in the music business until you have a hit record. And I had to think about that. I really had to think about that because I'm one of those people like, hey, I'm doing this and this and that. But if you think about it, when, he's right. You really don't have a hit record until, I mean, you're not into the music industry until you really have a hit record, because that's when everything really comes out to you. That's when everybody comes, and that's when everything is right there in front and center. That's when people want to negotiate. That's when negotiations really start happening, is when you have a hit record. And if you think about it, in theory, not that many artists that I know that pop off right off the jump. You know what I'm saying? They just, okay, on Monday they started rapping, and then by Wednesday they already own. You know what I'm saying? A lot of these labels, they don't come after people until they see some type of potential, and usually that potential is a hit record within their region. And so then what happens is that's when they come. And so when Master P said that, at first I had to think about it. I'm like, you know what? He's right. He's definitely right. Somebody like Master P, and he talks about, Jay Prince and all these different people. And going back to my point, I know I'm skipping around, but I'm just kind of want to give y'all the game, because I think a lot of people still are very fugazi about this industry and how it really works. Not everybody is able to get things done. What I mean by that, man, a lot of people are not able to pull things off. Not everybody's Master P. Not everybody's Jay Prince. Not everybody's P. Diddy. No, pause. And not everybody's like a Jermaine Dupri. So a lot of times when you want to do these things, when you do these things with people, not everybody can really got the resources to do things. That's why I always encourage, artists, hey, find out or get a team around you that really to do some research and things for yourself, because a lot of other people, again, especially when you sign into other artists, sometimes can be the most asinine thing. And like Paul Wall said in his interview too, why would you want to sign to another artist when that artist is still potentially getting deals, who trying to get deals for themselves? And so if you thinking that, what make you think that they're going to get the deal for you to eat when they still trying to eat themselves? And which leads me to my next point about, Houston rap scene and stuff like that. Houston rap scene. This has always been a subject that's kind of been, that's really been kind of touchy. A lot of people have a lot of different opinions about this. Again, I'm just sharing my opinion and my opinion only, and I'm just gonna let it be, right? I'm just gonna let this be, right? I feel like this. Houston is too damn big to be going through these issues that they go through. And I'm talking from the perspective of somebody that's been here for going on 13 years, who've been in this industry. Houston is too big to go through the shit that they going through. Too big. Houston is way too big to be going through the shit that they going through. And another thing is that the reason why in my opinion, again, y'all, this is my opinion, the reason why the youngsters and the old generations don't link well together, or, the youngsters don't like the OGs, in my opinion, from what I observed and what I've heard, is that, just heard people in talking and passing, is that the older generation, when they was getting it, rap was fairly new here in Houston, and it was all over the place. It was talent. It was everybody doing their own thing, and everybody showed love in the way they had to do it. They sold out the trunk. They had Southwest Wholesale. And then, they did shows within Texas, Louisiana, and stuff like that. So the money was there. And so now you got the younger generation, in my opinion. I'm not saying all, but in my opinion, I think the younger generation don't have that work ethic as the OGs did. And what some of the youngins want is that they want the OGs to give them game and knowledge. But some of the OGs feel like, well, shit, we had to figure this out on our own. We didn't have nobody sit here and do this for us. So to some of the OGs, I feel like they feel like they laid the pavement, they laid it down. And now it's kind of like, okay, you got these youngsters who really don't want to really work for it. Again, not all, but some. Again, this is my opinion, how I view the situation. And so what happens is you get a lot of these youngsters who want the vouch, or they want some of these OGs to take them under the wing. Now, the definition of under the wing, depending on how you look at it, my definition of under the wing is that you're showing me the ropes. You know what I'm saying? I'm going through trials and tribulations. I'm learning, I'm watching, I'm absorbing the game to where I can see how it fits in my situation, to where others look at it as under my wing is, come with me, I'm going to take care of you. Here's your chain. Here's a couple of dollars in your pocket. Here's a studio. Here's some weed. Here's a blunt. And here's your phone. Go make videos and post them. I truly believe that's what a disconnect is that information is not passed. Information is not shared. Some OGs feel like, why should they pass their information down to these youngins when these OGs had to get out here and figure it out for themselves? And it's crazy. It's definitely crazy. It's definitely a crazy situation. You know what I'm saying? Kayo, you still in here, bro? So that's my opinion, how I think it is. I think that's what it be. I think the younger guys, I think the younger guys, um, I think the younger guys want that certain thing. I could be wrong. KO, I'm gonna bring you on, man, because I want to hear your opinion about this. And that's how I really want to do this, dear. I want to bring people in to talk about this. So are you available to chime in? Yeah. If you're available, man, I definitely want to hear your opinion about this. Um, KO, somebody, man, I really respect in the game, and I really want to hear that. Somebody that's from Houston. You know what I'm saying? But that's my opinion of it. I feel like a lot of independent artists, the young and the youngins, and the communication and the link. Oh shit. Okay. But like I've said this before. Yo,
Yo,
what's going down, bro?
what's good,
Nothing
Brody?
much, man. Just on here, just on here, just kind of dropping a little knowledge, man.
Yeah, hold on, man. Let me get situated. I was expecting to be on no live today.
Hey, but you know what though, bro? I was gonna send you a message, man, and be like, hey, yo, you know what I'm saying? I wanted you to come and talk because I knew I was gonna kind of talk about this subject, man.
Yeah. So my take on it, man, with like the OGs and the young guys, a lot of young artists, they feel a lot of them feel entitled, but a lot of the OGs too shouldn't be as selfish with some resources, depending on who the artist is and who's reaching out
Right,
to them. You know, like certain artists shouldn't be feeling entitled. No artist should really be feeling entitled because a lot of the OGs they had to get out the mud, as you had stated.
right,
You know what I'm saying? Like even with me, with what I had to learn, nobody taught me. Nobody taught me. It was from me having to observe and realize, like, man, this showcase stuff is a hamster wheel,
right.
and you know, the best way to do it, like the one OG who gave me advice isn't even from Houston.
Mm,
It was Joe Budden. I went to Joe Budden concert in 2016, 2017 when he was on his it was right before he was about retire. It was for the All Love Lost tour, one of my favorite albums by Joe Budden. If you know me, you know Joe Budden's one of my favorite MCs. So I did a meet and greet with him, and my question was to him. I said, if you had to give an independent artist any advice, what would you give him? And he told me, he said, "Hey, do it yourself."
Mm.
And at the time when he told me that, it just sparked in my head to what he meant. It's like I already knew what he was saying. I'm sorry. You know what? Don't expect nobody to do anything for you. Don't
Exactly.
expect nobody to have that handout for you. Go do it yourself. Like, for instance, Duck just tapped in. Duck been doing this longer than I have, and he's one of the best shirt makers
Yeah.
in the city.
Yeah.
As far as his own individual branding. You know what I'm saying? So just peeping how certain artists do this or do that or whatnot. You know what I'm saying? You got to incorporate that into yourself. So like a lot of the young folks, I feel like a lot of them, they just wanted to be given to them versus them actually go put in the work.
Exactly.
Like
Exactly. Exactly.
social media has deceived a lot of the younger artists as well. Like social media can blow you up overnight and it can destroy you overnight in the same breath.
Right.
So like you don't have nothing outside of what's in the social realm. 9 times out of 10, they're not going to be able to sustain themselves. So like I feel like a lot of the younger guys, they have to learn how to come out and network or learn how to actually put themselves in people's faces as well as utilize social media. And I feel like the OGs who actually seeing these young guys working and who's respectable, who's paying homage, who's showing the OGs the love and the proper respect that they deserve, then the OGs should be giving a hand out to those younger individuals versus, the younger guys, because the young guys are explosive. So a lot of them like to be like, man, screw the OGs, blah, 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 this,
Right.
that, and the third.
Right.
You feel me? A lot of the OGs, some of them may react, some of them may not react or whatnot. So that's like one of the things I feel like kind of hinders the growth of what we got.
Duh. What's
Duh!
going on,
Yo,
man? Yo. So man, so I wanted to tap in with you, man. I wanted to bring you on here because I bring it up a very sensitive subject about the Houston OGs versus the young the young ones in
yeah,
Houston, and I was giving my opinion about it, and I wanted to bring y'all in, man, because like with Duck, man, what's crazy? I said this before. I've been living here for 13 years. The first time I seen Duck was a show way somewhere on, I forgot what it was. It was in this club. I remember he had the Duck or Die shirts and stuff like
right,
that. Now, I've been here 13 years and I've seen Duck probably about 4 times out of 13,
yeah,
man. But
yeah.
Duck, man, I wanted to ask you, bro, like, how do you feel about that? Do you think the OGs are wrong for that, or not giving down the game like that, or do you think it's the youngsters, or you think it's a little bit of both?
Um, Me personally, I feel like uh, it just really depends on you. It depends on how you look at it because, in a sense, yeah, they could be wrong for not passing we gonna say the torch or the game, whatever the case may be. Then what you gotta realize is majority of these OGs is still active.
There,
You know what I'm saying?
hey,
So
right, real quick. What you just said is very important
right,
because I feel that way too, and also too. Let's be honest, and then I'll let you get back to your point. Let's
yeah,
be honest. How many and again, this is opinionated. Y'all are Houstonians. I'm an
right,
implant of 13 years, but I grew up on the culture. So like you just said that, but also too, if you think about it, what OG has really from Houston put on a what OG from Houston put on another artist? Like for instance, like in a sense, I'm saying, okay, you got 50 Cent, right? You
right,
got 50 Cent, who's the main dude,
right,
but Young Buck had his own situation.
right,
Uh, Tony Yayo had his own situation,
right.
and everybody had their own thing, everybody own shine. So, with that being said, what Houston OG has done that for their artists?
But
Uh,
you got to think about, you got to think when you ask that, what OG artist has different artists under them to do that.
Right.
I can only think of Screw and Michael Watts, like when the SUC came about, and they had a plethora of artists,
But
and
what
just
we not, that's just that's not an artist. That's not an artist. That's not an active artist with artists under them. That's a record
right,
label.
Right.
You know
Right.
what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, it's a lot of factors that go off into it. But what I was saying is, um, these artists are still active. So at the end of the day, that's just like me taking an artist and bringing them up while I'm still doing my thing. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying I don't want to share the light, but shit, I'm grinding still. So you got to grind just like I'm grinding. You know, at the end of the day, that
right,
it comes off that way. Now, um, to a certain extent, I feel like, because I always said that it doesn't hurt for them to shed a light on artists. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? You don't have to sign them. You don't have to um be around them all 24/7. But I pitched the segment where OG rappers or artists can choose a random artist and just shed a light on them and just say, hey, y'all, check this artist out. You know what I'm saying? And
Right.
that'll go far. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's just like this is my official stamp of saying, go check out KO. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
He from Mo City. He go hard. Y'all check him out. And bam, you go on about your life. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Right.
And this could be done radio wise. This could be done podcast wise. This could be done in different, on different platforms. But who am I to say, you know what I'm saying? That's just the idea. But it's something that should be implemented in these platforms, but it's not being done.
But you know what? The only rapper from Houston I seen do something like that was Slim Thug. I know a few years ago he used to ride in his little drop top. He used to ride in a little drop top ride, and
Yeah.
he'd be playing different artists.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's, I mean, I definitely understand that, and I agree to that. But also too, I always feel like this, like you said, a lot of these artists are still working.
Right.
Like Paul Wall said in his interview on the Breakfast Club, why would I want to sign to an artist who is still trying to get it? So what's the
Exactly.
so how is it going to refer to me? But then it goes to a lot of the artists, a lot of the independent artists here. I feel that some of them may not have that resource because not everybody is Master P, Jay Prince, and all of that. So a lot of them may not have that resource to really put somebody out like that because they still eating. You know, like my guy said, little Kiki. I mean, hey, I rocks with Kiki. Kiki, when I was doing radio at Texas 101 Jams, doing the Ritual Chuck's Corner,
Yeah.
Kiki came and did my
Right.
show. But I
Right.
was thinking about, I'm like, what artist is under Kiki that Kiki brought to the forefront and said, "Yo, this is who this is." It's because Lil Kiki's still working himself.
Right. Right. Like I say, I, I I totally get like how most up and coming artists feel about it, but then me being in the game so long, and now I'm starting to, what I'm saying, get a little, time up under my belt. I'm saying like, hey, shit, I got shit going on. I'm not finna stop what I got going on to put light onto this artist. You know what I'm saying? Not saying I never do it, but at this moment, I'm still trying to get there.
Right,
You know what I'm saying? Or I'm
right,
still figuring it out. So at the end of the day, like I say, these are still artists. These are still people that still working with their craft and perfecting their craft every day, no matter how long they've been in the game.
right.
You know what I'm saying? So for me to expect you to take your time to say, "Hey, everybody, this Duck, I'm a jump on every song he got. I'm a make sure everybody know who he is." I can't even be mad at that. You know what I'm
So
saying?
Ko, so how you feel about that, man? Because I know you got artists within your situation. How do you feel about that? Like you're still as KO, you still getting it yourself, but you got Rosie, you got other couple of artists. So how do you handle that, and how do you feel about what Doug said about that?
So I feel like my way of thinking on stuff is the artists that with higher or whatever. We move as a team, as a cohesive unit. So like we're not all in the same lane. Like I'm the lyricist, right? You got Rosie. Rosie's a hip hop neo
Right.
soul artist, and then you have Saj who does strictly R&B and pop. So like I feel like my former thinking is like we can corner the market in so many different avenues, and we're not stepping on each other's toes. It's better if we're moving. Honestly, quiet. It's better if we move collectively as a unit. You know what I'm saying? To where we can happen to grab more people than what I will grab by myself. Rosie might be able to grab and tap into that particular market or that fan base. I can tap into that particular market or fan base. So like the whole thing is it's just having people on your team or having people around you that's willing to work and understands the dynamics of how to do this independently. So like my thing with like the OGs or the artists, like even Zero had just recently picked up a who was that, Lolita Monroe? Wasn't Lolita Monroe signed to 1D?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like when you try to bring artists up, it's always a hit and miss type of ordeal. Like
It's
you
all
know,
a gamble. Yeah, it's definitely
no,
a gamble.
huh?
I say it's definitely all a gamble.
Yeah, it's all a gamble. It don't always happen to just fall on the OGs or whatever. Sometimes it just fall on it. Don't the artist may not connect with the particular crowd. You know what I'm saying? But
Right.
like another thing I always notice in Houston is Houston isn't like how New York is. So New York has a lot of different media. They have a lot of different outlets out there. And the way that New York is mainly set up is they mainly set up by crews. So like when you had a G, you know what I'm saying, that was considered as a crew, just like Terror Squad was considered as a crew, and Fat Joe was able to bring Remy Ma or he was able to bring Big Pun. It's not the same dynamic here that's in Houston.
Right.
You feel me? Like, I feel like the way we move here is a little bit more different. Like I don't ever think that an OG just because a lot of times the OGs and the young dudes they're not even fighting for the same crowds. So like the OGs already have a established fan base, and that OG fan base may not tap into that young dude because it may not be the exact same thing they used to, or it might be just
That's
a totally
true.
different. What's
I
up, Bill?
I think the
Spit it
biggest
though, talk it, bro. Spit it out.
I,
Spit it out.
I think the thing about the difference between Houston and most places is, and when I say this, y'all gonna understand it. Houston upholds the older artists no matter what. That's a that's
Facts.
a that
That's a
is a that is a legacy that's never gonna be let go. If you let's just take New York since I brought it up. You don't have majority of the older artists that there and that they'll just cling to. They're not clinging to the older artists. They're not clinging to the ones that came before them. You know what I'm saying? We speaking artists that came before us, 9'6", 9'3",
Mm-hmm.
9'4", that right now has not died down in Houston.
Right.
Not because they still rapping, not because it's because is we so stapled in that culture. You know what I'm saying? We still
Mm-hmm.
living in that time. If you listen to all the music that's coming out now of the artists that's here, that's being played, 97.9, we gonna say by Watts or whoever it is. Listen to that music. Majority of it sampled from old music. Majority
right.
of it is revamped from the old music. It's the old sound coming back.
Here's
You
always
know
the
what I'm
old
saying?
sounds like what Big Baby Flavor did with the whole Mo sound. You feel me?
It's
Like I feel like a lot of people gravitate because it's
it,
still
because it sounds exactly like Mo. So
yeah. So
guess what guess what they looking for? They like, you know what? Man, we love this because man, it give me that old feeling back. It
Yeah.
give me that old and this is what the city upholds. And that's something that you can't beat.
Right.
You can't beat that. You know what I'm saying? You either gonna get with it or you gonna find your way in it. You know what I'm saying?
Right. So I'm gonna ask both of y'all. So what do y'all think that I personally think that I don't know, is it the artist situation or just the lay of the land? But I think back in the day that artists back then, the OGs, they really put in the work for you to recognize them. They really put in the
Yeah,
work.
because just like, not to cut you off, just like the crowd, crowd network is saying, the world don't do it. So this is something different.
Right,
Back then, that was something that it was new. Nobody was
right,
doing it. So of course, back then it was easy to gravitate to it because nobody done it. You got to look at it. This is we the land of the players and pimps. The cool, we cool, you know what I'm saying? That
Hurry
is
up,
something
thinking.
that we stand on. You know
right,
what I'm saying?
right,
And it's just like I say, it's just something that you naturally gravitate to, is in you. You know what I'm saying? But I'm a Houston South Side, South Park, H-Time, Dine, talking dude. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
You feel me?
yeah,
So I naturally I can go with them. You know what I'm saying? I can go with the lyrics. I can go with the what's going on in my city. I can go with whatever they got going on. I fit the description. You know what I'm saying? I got the lingo. I got the how you said the talk, just the natural talk, because I this is me. This is what we
right,
do. So at the end of the day, like I say, I feel no way as an artist. I don't feel no type of way of thinking that someone should come and find me or someone should hear me because I'm doing what they did. You know what I'm saying?
right,
Because at
right,
the end of the day, listen to what I said. They did it
right.
already.
What
Right.
do you think the city need to get? Like, how do you think the artists, because the city support, like you said, it was new back then. How do y'all think that we possibly can get back to where the city starts supporting the artists again? Because back then, like the city supported, like real talk, and like Doug, like you said, it was new. But what do y'all think that needs to be done to kind of get that support? Because you got to involve the city back in some way, shape, or form.
I think it's the identity. So like with our old OGs music, it's the identity of Houston. Like a lot of the younger guys, they're not really helping shape or mold the identity of Houston. They were trying to rap trap or they trying to rap drillish. I just heard a
But
new
it's
artist.
nothing wrong with that, though. There's nothing wrong with that. Me personally, I don't think there's nothing wring with that.
I don't know. Ain't nothing wrong with it, but I just feel like it's the whole identity thing to why a lot of it is not connecting with the city. Like Big Baby Flavor, it connects with the city because it's still within the identity of the Houston sound, the Houston culture. You know
Yeah,
what I'm
but
saying?
then
Like rock.
Yeah, yeah.
but how was Travis Scott able to? You know what I'm saying?
Because he went somewhere
Because he
else.
incorporates the
Went
culture
somewhere
and
else. He
he
went
still put the screw
somewhere else.
somewhere else though. He had to go somewhere else to make it happen.
It
He didn't blow
don't
up
matter.
here.
It,
And then he got
that
rejected.
that
Here.
goes to show you gonna be stuck in a circle here.
Right.
It goes without saying. You're gonna be stuck in a circle here, trying to fit in a certain way.
I think that's one of the problems Zero had. Like I went back and I was listening to Zero versus the World today, and he got the song called Worldwide. You know what I'm saying? What he's talking about, he want to be bigger than Texas. He don't want to just be Texas. But if you look at his career, he really just kept it more so just here in Texas versus, going outside to those other realms. Like he even talked about it in his interview that
Scarface
he
said
had.
that too.
Huh?
Scarface said something like that too. He said in an interview, he said that a lot of Texas or Houston artists get stuck in what I think what you was kind of going with this. They get stuck in that thing. Like I said, outside of Houston, nobody knows what Papados. And now there's some Papados popping up now, but
The
like
door.
certain lingo, certain things, he was like, it's certain things you can do that keeps you localized, like what you're talking about.
Right.
Like
Right.
a lot of people don't know what Fifth Ward, like what that is, or a lot of people don't know what Sunnyside. And so
Exactly.
when a lot of the rappers talk about that, you know
Exactly.
what I'm saying? But from the outside, they like, what's that? So I feel that. But go ahead, KO. My bad, bro. Go ahead.
Exactly. Exactly.
But
That's one of my
all right.
points.
I done lost my train of thought. Go ahead,
But
Doug.
I mean, just to piggyback, that's one of my points to what I'm saying with being an artist here, because you don't look outside the box. You chase what's here. You chase. Now let's be honest. Everybody want to make be a staple in a section, they city.
Right.
You want to make it where you from first. That's what you want to do. You
Right.
want you want to be a hood celebrity, a hood hero, a neighborhood well known rapper where you from. So what you do, you go out and you do what you know in the city is likable, or what everybody's. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
What you cater to it. You know what I'm saying? And you get stuck in those ways. I used to find myself freestyling and saying the same thing over and over, because that's just what we was doing. I'm coming down, coming through, popping trunk, banging screw. That's just couldn't get out of that. Couldn't get out of it. Not because my vocabulary wasn't big, or I that's just all I knew.
Right.
You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right.
Life teaches us going places, being other places, learning about other stuff, teach you how to rap. This should teach you how to rap about different stuff. Now you have a bigger perspective to talk about, different things to speak about. And then you will be able to get out of just saying Houston, and then you realize you're supposed to say Texas. You know what I'm saying? I'm not
Good
doing this
point.
for South Park. I'm doing this for Houston. Then you get out of Houston, you say, I'm not just doing this for Houston. I'm doing this for Texas. Now you speaking for Dallas. You speaking for San Antonio. That's how you start getting outsourced. You know what I'm saying?
That's a
But
good point.
say, man, it's a whole, man, this conversation can go so deep, or it can
I
go all
know. I
kind of
know.
different ways.
Trust me,
You
man.
know?
You know what, man? This is a conversation that comes up in my circle at least once a week.
Yeah.
You know, between me, myself, Diamond, man, this is even Damon, man, in a little
Yeah.
group, man. That's the thing, man. And it's like it always comes back to what do Houston need to do? What do artists need to do and stuff like that. So it's definitely crazy, man. But I mean, I want to see Houston win, man. I want to see Houston get back to the point, because it's another thing that always comes up about why Houston is not where they at when it comes to media and stuff like that, man. And
Favoritism.
yeah, that too. But a lot of times, I mean, I've seen it too.
Say, man, favoritism.
Favoritism.
As an artist, favoritism.
Mm. KO, what you think?
I agree.
Favoritism.
Mm.
I agree.
You
It's
couldn't.
favoritism.
I'm gonna say this because I've been there. I've been on the artist side. I've been there on outside the artist side. We
Mm-hmm.
gonna take me as the artist, okay? When I was doing songs with the Big Kings, and me and Big Fats here and there and going everywhere, it was, we want you here, we want you there, we want you here, we want you there, because we just gonna say motion. We gonna just use the
Right.
word motion. That's what they're using now, because you got motion. So of course everybody's saying come here, come there. I want you here. Oh, free of charge. Don't worry about it. We just want you there, right?
Mm-hmm.
So then let's just say, and me and KO talk a lot. I used to always tell KO, say, if you're gonna take a break, don't take too long. I told you that before, KO. If you gonna put it to the side, if you're gonna come back, don't take too long, because you're gonna be like me, trying to find your way back to where you at. And I say that to say, when you die down and you saying, you know what, I got these connections. I got such and such over here told me I could pull up whenever. I got All Star Chuck told me whenever I need him, I got him. And then when I double back and say, hey, look, I'm back doing music, or hey, I got a new song, Chuck say, well, Duck, I ain't gonna lie, man, I'm charging you. But
Yeah,
in my
that's how.
head, I'm thinking we still good. I'm thinking we got a relationship. You know?
You know what? I feel that. I definitely feel. I know what you mean, because and I don't know if he in here, but I'm gonna bring it up. And my guy Hallelujah. I think that's what he's been going through these last 4 years. It's like
Definitely.
when he was at the top,
Yep.
everybody this and this, but then when he had that mishaps,
Right.
and I ain't gonna, I put it out there. Like one of the first people he told me to reach out to was EXO.
Right.
Him and EXO make dope ass music together.
Right.
EXO did not, man. That dude left me on red. He
Yes,
ain't even
sir.
say he ain't even say, "Hey, bro, look, this and this." He ain't even say nothing. So
Yes, sir.
I definitely see what you mean, man, by that, because definitely that's what dude's going through now. It's like, you can go to any dude's going to studios dropping this now. Shit, every time you go, hey, yeah, man, I'm gonna need that 450.
Right. Now, facts. Because I can't tell you why they do it, but like I say, it's just the motion. You know, I'm gonna even bring up Maxwell was going down. I'm gonna even bring up me from deciding to chill with music and run with social media with the South Park Shorty thing.
Mm-hmm.
It went from you got to pay to, hey, I want to get you over here. And I'm saying, well, you told me to charge. Oh, don't worry about that. Bring Shorty with you.
But you know
You
what
know,
though? But you know what though? I'm a firm believer in this, and me and Ko had conversations over the years about this. I'm a firm believer. You build your own table, cook your own food. The conversation is always going to be different.
definitely. But I prefer you to do this here with me. I prefer you to keep it business. If it's gonna be business later on, make it business when you first start. Don't tell me, hey, whenever you need me, I got you. Hey, don't worry about nothing. I got you. And then when I come back later, it's let me tell you, I'm charging. I
Right.
prefer that out the gate. I prefer we stand on business from day one
Right.
because as an artist, you talk to build relationships. You talk to go holler at these DJs. You talk to go make good with these DJs. You talk to go, make good with these promoters and all of this. So our mind is let me build a relationship.
Right. Relationships are important.
It's important.
That's for sure.
It's important, but money is more important.
Mm.
So for me, if it's more important, build this relationship on money, on business. And I understand how it's supposed to go. So if you telling me that I gotta pay, I have no problem with it, but I still fuck with you because I respect it.
Right.
But we still partners.
Right.
Because it was like that from the get-go. Now me and you don't
So
have
with
to
this,
take the risk of falling out or losing respect for each other because I had something different in my mind from what you told me. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So when I double back and come around and say, hey, you remember you told me this? And you say, well, yeah, I said that, but it's different now.
Mm-hmm.
You can't get mad if I feel some kind of way because I thought different, just like you thought different. But it, it, man, it's 30. It's a million ways to skin a cat, man. And like I say, we could talk about it all day and go down a rabbit hole with it. But at the end of the day, I just feel like if you're an artist, grind how you supposed to grind, work how you supposed to work, stay consistent, build your brand, and for the most part, if you're gonna do it to where nobody can say they made you.
Mm.
Do it to where nobody can say All Star Chuck is there because of me.
Right.
There's nobody right now that can say Duck is what he got going on because I put
Because I
him there
put
or
them
because I
there.
can't nobody fix their lips to say that. And I stand up.
And yeah, and like Ko, man, that's why I get so respect to Ko too, bro. Because like
Right,
I said,
definitely.
when I first met him a while back, I remember he started out okay, he was over here, he was over there, and then he built a whole situation, man. But salute to both of y'all, man. But you're right though, man.
Appreciate it.
You're definitely right. But man, I appreciate y'all coming through, man. I wanted to start doing things different, little variety, man. So I really appreciate y'all dropping in, man. Really, I do, man.
For
So
sure.
before y'all go, before I let y'all go, man, have at it, man. Tell people where they can follow you, where they can find music, all that stuff.
Go ahead, KO.
man, you can find the King of Steeds everywhere. Matter of fact, just go to my website, www.hirekayyo.com. While you're there, purchase something you dig.
Yeah. And for me, man, I ain't on too much right now, but everything who is Duck, Twitter who is Duck, Facebook who my name Damian Duckworth. If you type in Google who is Duck, I'm gonna pop up. Um for the most part, man, I got the album coming out. Y'all can go on YouTube and check out Southside Legend in the Making. I already dropped that. We got AC Music coming next. Me and Killer Tex working on that right now. Go check out the interview I just did with KO on the Rap Shack. You know what I'm saying? check out his page. It's on there. It's on my page. It's on the Facebook. You know what I'm saying? And shout out to All Star Chuck for always um giving free game that really
Facts.
costs. You
Yeah.
know what I'm
Facts.
saying? For giving people guidance that you would have to pay people to get.
Yeah.
Um, it's it's really um it's really cool to see somebody actually doing that and knowing that I'm able, if I really needed it, which I haven't had the pleasure to come to you yet, but if I really needed it, I know I can hit you and say, hey, you know what I'm saying? I need a little information on this, and you willing to share
Of
that, and
course.
we highly appreciate that, bro.
And, and real quick, I'm gonna interject. I'm gonna say this: the reason why I do what I do, because me coming from St. Louis, and even my homie Ryan Givens in here, man. He's a film director, writer. Matter of fact, y'all need to go check out his
Hold on,
project.
hold on. Not to cut you off. That's you. He say the album better be hot or I'm writing a diss track. Let's go. Hey, say, look, pretend that is bad and write one to me, man. Write one to me. Pretend
No,
that
but
is bad.
no, but
Challenge accepted.
yeah, but man, make sure, man, y'all check out Ryan Givens, man. He got a project called Atlanta 10.0 and 10.2.
Gotcha.
He wrote it, directed it, shot it on his own, man. And he from the crib, from St. Louis, from the
Right.
truck. But what I really want to say, man, before I let y'all go for real, the reason why I do stuff like that because Ryan probably can attest, but his circle was a little bit different because he was more connected to like Nelly and them because it's people and all of that. But and Ryan, I ain't no disrespect, bro. I'm just saying. But like when I was in the game back in St. Louis, like I didn't have nobody telling me stuff like this. I didn't have that. I became a cash cow. What I mean by that, people knew I wanted to rap. They knew I would pay for shows, so they singled me out. And so now me looking at it, I'm like, I don't want to do that. I don't want somebody to get not. When I say in my position, because I'm not sitting up here, I'm some old high mighty dude sitting over here, but I feel like nobody gave me that game. I was given bad information because people didn't want me to be better than them. But I give information because I want people to be aware. Because none of this shit was given to me at all. Everything I had to learn on my own or with my group KRT. And that's what we did. We prided ourselves on doing stuff on our own. So when I be giving game, I really want people to take it and use it because you're right. Like I said it, I said it one time. I'm not gonna lie. You can't hit up Wendy Day and pick her brain without paying some type of fee.
Right.
You know what
Right.
I'm saying? It's not gonna happen.
Right.
Or Tony or Tony Daniels or anybody like that. Now they more upper echelon than I am because they got a track record, which is fine. But I'm on the level where I feel like I like to be on the foundation level. If I can help you if I can help you dig your house and lay the foundation where it's flat and straight and it's strong, I done did my job.
Right.
So
That's real.
I definitely appreciate y'all, man. So again, I appreciate y'all stopping through, like real talk,
For
man.
sure. No problem.
All right, y'all.
All right.
Hey, man.
Yo,
Yeah, I get y'all tickets. Number 6 show. Duck performing live. KO performing live. Dogster performing live. A whole lineup is going to be crazy. It's going to be bananas. Flip going to pop out. Make sure that you're there. And my project trailers is dropping the same day. Pre-order it now. Peace.
peace.
Already.